Peace and light, peace and love, family. Shakesha Divine, also known as Pretty Priestess. Just wanted to drop through real quick to give you some forewarning about the show Pretty Priestess that is on Acre Podcast. We are all about connecting to our greatest version by getting on point, mind, body, in spirit, and by any means necessary, family. So if you are all about presenting your greatest version in your divine image, being authentically you, unapologetically you, unashamedly you, then you need to tune in to Pretty Priestess and get so many tips on skincare, clothes, fashion, beauty, mentalities, mindsets, ways to help you to overcome a lot of frustrations and other obstacles and shit that shows up in life. I'm here to tell you this is the place to be for 2020. So definitely stop through, check in with us. We love you. We want to see you win. So definitely connect with myself, and on occasion you will also find a cool co-host that always has something to contribute and something to add to the discussion that's always going to be helpful, and it's going to help us to present our greatest version, our divine image. Let's get it, family, in 2020. What I want to talk about is getting rid of all of that baggage. You know how people like to do for the new year. They like to start up with all of these New Year's resolutions. I was at the gym and I noticed that the gym is starting to fill up. I'm like, wow, what the hell? I forgot New Year's time, everybody wants these resolutions and everything. But are you making these goals and are they actually sticking? Like, okay, so it looks like a lot of people are doing a lot of self-inventory, which I applaud. Congratulations, family. However, are you developing a solid plan that's going to help you to achieve those goals and stay in a space where you have completely moved away from the energy of the old habits that were taking you into a space that you didn't want to be in? Are you doing that? Have you thought about doing it by any means necessary? Well, I have a friend here, right here behind me. Say hello to the Goddess Kali. Goddess Kali is a demon slayer, family, and she will connect with you and help you to connect to your star player by getting rid of all of those demons that hang out telling us you can't do it, they're better than you, that's not for you. Oh, you looking for trouble right there, trying to get to the next level. Nobody's doing that. What do you think? What will somebody say? All of that type of conversation that might go on in your head, or any other mental chatter that's not helping you, that's not serving you, then here's your ally right here that's going to help you. Now, looking at this picture, we know if any of you are following this, and if you really don't understand who the Goddess Kali is, I would definitely advise you to do a Google search, and don't just take my word for it in her being a demon slayer, because of course looking at this picture, it's a little gory. She got somebody's head, she got a bunch of people's head around her necks, and you know what I'm saying, and a severed head with a bowl with her tongue sticking out, and then she looks like she's trampling on dude. Well, apparently that's the god Shiva that she's standing on top of, who's trying to get her to calm down because she went on a rampage, tearing into demon ass for your particular edification, so that you can advance, for your advancement, right? So working with Kali is a very, very powerful thing to do. It is not some spooky ghost that's going to show up and chop off everybody's head. That's not how it works. It is an energy that you connect with. So how do you do that? Now, here, wait a minute. Let me back up. Let me digress. Let me tell you about Kali again. A loving energy, a mother goddess energy that can turn into this just like any other mother can when you mess with her children, right? Okay. A loving energy, not to be taken lightly. Do not get it twisted. But if you want to awaken the star player in yourself, then I would advise you, family, to work with Kali. Word. Okay? So, why would you deal with the demon slayer Kali, right? Because she's going to help you slay demons. What does that mean? Getting rid of limiting beliefs, right? Another thing that she'll do that's not a demon slayer thing is being self-empowering so that you can be empowered to continue on the course of getting rid of that. The other thing, facing some fears. There's maybe some things that you're afraid of dealing with that you haven't moved past yet. And this is a good time to work with Kali. The other one, releasing egoic mentalities, those constructs, those belief systems and everything. You know, that type of thinking, it makes you think that you have outclassed somebody because you live in a nicer house, or you drive a better car, or you wear shoes that cost a little bit of money, or you have designer handbags, so that makes you a cut above the rest of these peasants out here in this world. You know, that's a thought process that's going to cause a disconnect with the people that are around you and everything. So that's not really going to help you to connect with that love energy, and those belief systems. Having nice stuff, I'm gonna tell you something, that's what we're all about at Pretty Priestess. Let's not get it twisted. Having nice stuff, being on point and being about that shit. But the second you start getting it twisted, thinking that you will cut above everybody else, or you a little bit better than everybody, then you done kind of stepped out of the realm of what it is that we trying to do. The other thing, on the complete flip side, thinking that somebody's better than you. Oh my goodness, there's the boss. I better fall in line. Let me change the way that I speak when I get around certain people. Let me put on a mask of who I absolutely am not. Now, I'm not trying to tell you not to be your very best professional self and not to present yourself in a respectful manner, because there's a difference between cooling with your friends and being at work and presenting a professional appearance. That is not what I'm talking about. We already know what I'm talking about. Those people who like to change their whole complete demeanor and completely put on an artificial facade in order to impress someone you think will help you to advance. That type of mentality means that you feel that you're not good enough, and there's some work that you need to do, family. And I'm telling you this in love. Those types of beliefs. Also, you can change your perspective on life and death. So maybe having deaths, and this is a time right here, especially around the winter solstice, where there's a lot of bodies that transition from this realm into the spirit realm. There's a lot of deaths that happen at this time of year, so a lot of people aren't really in that Christmas spirit and everything. So working with the energy of Kali will help you to change your perspective on how life and death goes. And so that you don't feel such a disconnect. Like some people think that, you know, when they're gone, like it's completely as permanent. Some people believe that if you put their pictures up on the altar, you keep their spirit alive and awake. Some people think that they're going to heaven. Whatever it is that's going to bring you a sense of peace, no one's here to try to shift your belief system up on that particular level unless it's not empowering you. That's how we want to change that belief system. Not trying to tell anybody any way to go, any scriptures that they need to read or anything. If it's holding you down, then that's what you need to stick with, family. Let's not get it twisted. It's serious business here in 2020. We definitely moving forward. We don't have time for foolishness, shenanigans, or games, or getting caught up in anybody's bullshit belief system on how it needs to go. Because how it needs to go, family, is how it needs to go for you. What works for you is for you. Let's never get that twisted. Be authentic and be you. Also, how can you invoke the goddess Kali? The goddess Kali, invoking her, like I keep trying to tell you, there's no spooky spirit that's going to show up, haunt your house, scare the living hell out of you, throw plates across the table, you know what I'm saying, scare the hell out of your grandma when she comes to visit, and have you and all of the kids running to the car, racing to the police station, asking somebody to save you. Not going to happen, okay? But how you can invoke the goddess Kali is by meditating, right? So you can visualize her image. There's several different images of that. Usually they got her in this form because this is the form right here that brings that power of that demon slayer energy. So you definitely want to work with that. Get over the fear. If this scares you, if you can, if not, then don't mess with it. Don't mess with it at all. If this scares the hell out of you, then keep it moving. But if it doesn't, let's rock on. So you can meditate by visualizing her image, right? And seeing what you get out of that. Okay. Another thing that I really like to tell people to do, first and foremost, let me digress and rewind and go back. Do some reflection. Call upon willpower and assistance. I love that. This is from my Kim deck. And see what needs to change in your life, right? See what needs to change in your life. Start thinking about some of the things. Start doing some real self-reflection and finding out what needs to change, right? And then find out what needs to happen, right? And start thinking of all of the places in your life where you express that fierce feminine energy in your life. Do you express it at work? Do you express it on the go? Are you doing that, when you're out and about at the grocery store interacting with different people? Maybe you do that when you get together with your family get together. Where and how are you expressing that fierce divine feminine, huh? Also, you can do some there's a yoga and sauna where they have you squat and then you make some deep belly yells, and the deep belly yells helps to open up and evoke the energy of Kali to help you to release a lot of the energy that's burdensome. You know how they say that release, I guess, when you start to scream. This is something that I haven't tried, but I'm definitely going to try it. That was something new, so I picked that up along my journey when I was just checking out like different ways to really invoke this energy so that we can really benefit from it. So there's different ways and different avenues that work for different people, right? Another way that I think is really effective, that really works, and I know this one, is journalizing. So just really asking the energy of Kali. What do you have to teach me? What are some lessons that I need to learn? And really sitting with that, and then start to really journal and writing those things down. And sometimes it's going to seem like some of the things that come to you don't really make sense. Write it down anyway. Write it down anyway. Just write it down. Just write it down. Just keep writing and write it down. And as long as it's coming to you, then write it down. And then you might be able to look through it, and there may be some things that you definitely can't use, but you're going to find gems down in there. That's the process that has worked for me. I'm not going to tell you absolutely, but I'm going to tell you what happens for me is I absolutely get some things that I can use, some really, really powerful tools that's going to help me to move forward with that. So definitely get that together. And then now another way that you can do that is give an offering. Give an offering to Kali. Now, am I asking you to go to the Church of Kali and kneel at her feet and worship her? Absolutely not. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about giving an offering. Not your firstborn, not a blood sacrifice or any of that, but that's a whole nother I'm not even going to go there. And it is what it is. None of that, no spooky shit, right? The offering is those things that don't serve you. So when you give up those, in those meditations, and you give the offerings, give an offering of those things that don't serve you. Like right here with Kali, the offering that you want to give Kali is those things that you want her to take care of for you, right? All of those things that don't serve you, all of those demons you need her to take care of. That's how this particular energy works. So definitely put that on the table, right? For me, I can give my overindulgence, my ability to speak without putting much thought into, without being gentle or diplomatic. Sometimes I will say things with absolutely no filter. That's a demon I need Kali to help me slay, because that doesn't always serve me well, and it can also damage relationships. So what are some of those things that you need to work on? What are some of those things that you need some assistance with calling for? So those are some ways that you can definitely get Kali into your life. I'm really going over the time that I wanted to talk to you guys about it, but definitely, if you don't take anything away from this, this is not a spooky game that you're going to be playing. You're not going to be haunted or anything like that. Kali is a loving energy, but definitely not to be taken lightly. And if you want to awaken the star player in you to become your greatest version, to connect with that, to make some real changes that are sustainable this year, then I would recommend that you work with the goddess Kali, and she will allow you to make it happen by getting rid of all of the demons that are holding you back. Peace, light, and love, family. I love you. Check out Pretty Priestess. Check out on Facebook. We have a page. We also have a YouTube Pretty Priestess page, which I'm going to be posting there as well. So definitely like and subscribe. Peace and love.